Welcome, everybody, to the Shipwreck Podcast once again. I'm your host, Bobby. Man, we got an exciting show today. I thought last week was pretty a lot of fun. We had a couple of young black brothers that was on a pod that both voted for Trump, and they were on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like I said, one did not believe in racism, and the other one, believe it or not, went to Black Panther meetings and voted for Trump. So it was a spirited debate for 3 hours. But today we got some more Trump talk. But it's because we got a big fight going on today. Big fight was started a couple of days ago with Elon saying that he didn't like the big beautiful bill. Anybody, if you're watching right now, please, if you're on Facebook, please go to the YouTube and watch there. I really would appreciate it. If you want to join the show, I've already put the link in the bio already, or in the comments already. So if you want to join the show and come on in, because this should be a good one. I am going to try to keep it down to an hour and a half. Last week we went for 3 hours. I'm gonna try to keep it an hour and a half. The reason being is because the NBA finals are starting, and I know people want to watch the finals. So we're gonna try to keep this one short and sweet and have some fun as we do it all together. So again, if you want to join the couch, hit the link. The link is on the Facebook. Again, this is the last next couple of weeks will be the last couple of weeks for the Facebook. We are going strictly to YouTube, and that will start actually on Juneteenth. On Juneteenth, we're going to start strictly on YouTube. All right, with that being said, we got Trump versus Elon. And before I play the first video that talks about it, more in depth about what happened today, let me just go into what's Elon's problem. I want to say his problem is that it's gonna balloon the deficit too much, which it does. Fun fact: the deficit actually goes down under Democratic presidents, and this has been true since Bill Clinton. And a deficit goes up under Republican presidents. That's just the numbers. That's just the facts. That is just reality. That is what it is. Republicans like to talk the talk of deficit spending and stuff like that, but they spend more than Democrats. That's just the fact. If anybody would like to dispute it, we can come on and we can talk about it. But that's just the fact. So that being said, Elon issue has not been the tax cuts themselves, because he's going to get a lot of those tax cuts, being a billionaire that he is. His biggest issue has been the pork. He calls the pork. And what is the pork? The stuff that's in there for poor people, or people that need the help. You know, the food stamps, the Medicaid. He wants those things cut. And he hates the bill. He has tweeted out that the bill needs to die. He said anybody that votes for the bill, he will come after. And so Trump has been pretty quiet for the last couple of days, but today he came and had a news conference, or had a press conference, talking to the Chancellor of Germany, actually. And he came on and said that some things. So you know what? Let's get to the video. And again, if you want to join the channel today, the link is in the bio or in the chat. Come on and let's sit on the couch and talk. But here we go with the first video.
The alliance between the world's richest man and the alliance between the world's richest man Donald Trump is imploding right now in real time before our very eyes. Is imploding right now in real time before our very eyes. With Trump and Musk tearing into each other inside the Oval Office and online. It appears that Elon Musk, after donating $277 million of his own money to the Trump campaign, after serving as Donald Trump's political heat shield for the first 5 months of his second presidency, did so while doing permanent damage to his business empire, to the federal government, and his personal reputation and legacy. But after all that, even Elon Musk is not immune from the golden rule that for Trump, loyalty is a one-way street. But Musk is not going quietly into the night. After days of Musk trashing Donald Trump's signature domestic policy, his big ugly bill, as Elon Musk called it, Trump finally broke his silence. Watch.
Bill Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, and he only developed the problem when he found out they were going to have to cut. He knew it better than almost anybody, and he never had a problem better than almost anybody. Right after he left, and he never had a problem until right after he left. He said the most beautiful things about me, and he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next.
Trump was right about that. That is indeed what is
Trump was right about
next.
that. That is indeed what is happening next. Musk, who's now a former special government employee with basically the same status as the rest of private citizen who can post all of his big
he is lashing
on
out,
the internet,
reminding his 220 million
he is lashing out, reminding his 220 million followers on the platform he owns,
$277 million.
Potentially decisive $277
All right, so I just seen that heard
million
that the audio is messing up some, so I'm trying to rewind it now and get it fixed. Can you guys hear me well at all? If you can, just say something in the chat. I'm trying to get it fixed now. I don't know what happened or why it's doing that. Let me try to see if I can figure this out. Let me see. Let me see here. Can y'all still hear me? Hold on. Sorry for the confusion, everybody. Let me see. All right, I'm good. So let me see about this video again. See how it works.
The alliance between the world's richest man and the world's most powerful, Donald Trump, is imploding right now in real time before our very eyes, with Trump and Musk tearing into each other inside the Oval Office. It appears inside the Oval Office, after donating $277 million of his own money to the Trump campaign, after serving as Donald Trump's political heat shield for the first 5 months of his second presidency, did so while doing permanent damage to his business empire, to the federal government, and his personal reputation and legacy. But after all that, even Elon Musk is not immune from the golden rule that for Trump, loyalty is a one-way street. But Musk is not going quietly into the night. After days of Musk trashing Donald Trump's signature domestic policy, his big ugly bill, as Elon Musk called it, Trump finally broke his silence. Watch.
Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate. He knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody, and he never had a problem until right after he left. He said the most beautiful things about me, and he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next.
Well, Trump was right about that. That is indeed what is happening next. Musk, who's now a former special government employee with basically the same status as the rest of us, a private citizen who can post all of his big feelings on the internet, is doing just that. He is lashing out, reminding his 220 million followers on the platform he owns, X, of his potentially decisive $277 million political gift to Donald Trump. He writes this, quote, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Democrats would control the House and Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate." Musk went on to say, quote, all caps, "Such ingratitude." It went on and on and on. Trump even threatened to cancel Musk's billions of dollars worth of contracts, to which Musk fired back, accusing Donald Trump of, wait for it, covering up his role in the Epstein files. Yes, Elon Musk went there. The Epstein files. Now, the Epstein files are government documents from the investigation into the disgraced financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. It takes up a lot of heat and energy on the right. But as sordid as this all is, and it gets worse, let's stop here for a second. Why does any of this matter, right? Two tarantulas in a bowl. Why does it matter? Well, here's why. When the most powerful person in our government fights with the richest person in the world, we, as a public, get to peer deep inside the most corrupt and superficial alliance in American political history. And as they claw and strike rhetorically at one another, they affirm our deepest concerns and suspicions. Trump confirms that Musk was always only in it to enrich his companies. And Musk confirms that Trump was always for sale. And these aren't just words. I mean, Elon Musk's last barb on the media platform he controls, and I'd be shocked if he wasn't manipulating an algorithm to make sure that everybody sees what he tweeted about Trump and the Epstein files.
Yeah, I don't want to dismiss that. You're right. The words are very significant because they lead to external actions. And I think that's the part that's so critical here, is that Musk, because he is so deeply tied into the zeitgeist, he knew exactly where to hit. And that Epstein files, you had to have Teddy explain that, right? Because many in the audience here don't really even understand how significant that is to the very base that Trump and Musk are both speaking to and lobbying for support from, because they are going to take that support for their political power. That is part of how Trump came to power, is that he organized power and used to be considered the fringes. So I don't want to diminish the power of words. I'm not trying to suggest that. What I'm trying to say is that this is only the beginning, and these words have so far laid out the soft spots and the fractures, but I don't know where the check is or the guardrail to stop them from taking additional action, from stopping Trump from saying, you know what, we are going to review the security clearance of Musk, given all the reporting, right, which hasn't really happened yet. With Musk starting to threaten government space launches with these contracts, or to start tweaking the algorithm, or to start promoting antagonists of Donald Trump in meaningful ways.
All right. So is it a real fight? I know that's what my wife came home asking, wondering if it was a real fight or not. But I think the video had a few things in it that struck a chord. Number one, and the video talked about it, but also I got it from Joy Reid, is the most powerful person in the world, is the United States president, is feuding with a regular US citizen, and it's huge news. Think about the power that citizen has for this to be a thing. It's mind blowing. And it just shows you the corruption, I think, within the entire administration, and honestly, not just this administration, but in our political system as well. We have too much money in our system, and that has to change. And until it does, we won't be able to get right as a nation. I think whether it's about our government and our debt and our budget, and getting things under control there, to minority rule, really, because there are less Republicans in this country than there are everyone else, but they control every facet of our federal government. With that being said, our first person on the couch is always a fan favorite. It's Ronnie. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can't hear you. All right, there you go. All right. Welcome once
Yeah, what's
again
good,
back
bro?
to the couch,
Thank
man.
you.
Welcome back to the couch. I think you watched the video. You went
Oh,
on
yeah.
while the video was on. This fight it's entertaining. Because I felt like I knew it was going to happen, just because eventually but also I want to say, right before you go, I also want to say, I think this may be Trump's biggest match to date, because I don't think that he is ready for Elon, because Elon don't give a fuck. Elon don't care. And he has enough money to not give a shit. And he can put his backing about, he has so much he has as much political weight as anybody else, than a president, really, because he can put his money anywhere he needs to put it, to put his thumb on the scale of democracy. So the floor is yours, bro. Welcome to the couch. Go ahead, Ronnie. Can you hear me? I don't think he can hear me.
Yeah. No.
Okay, there you go. The floor is yours, man. What you thinking?
Listen. Thanks. First, thank you for gets done. Thank you for the viewers out there. Please like, share, and subscribe. I just want to throw that out there. I'm just going to do that before you real quick.
Appreciate it.
This is a very, very important platform. People don't really realize, bro, that you set up, man. I'm really happy that you did, man. This is future looking. But for me, you got two Brahma bulls, right, that don't like to take no for an answer. They like yes men. They like yes people. And when you meet somebody that's equal to you, that's telling you, listen, this is what's going to happen. You got somebody in the mirror looking at the same exact thing, and y'all both Brahma bulls. It was bound to be problems. I knew this in the beginning. I'm like, this is not going to work out. This is not going to work out because they both narcissists. They don't know they don't know how to do things that don't help only just them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now when they don't get what they want, either on either side, see how the switch up happens. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you ever look at, like, remember how BMF, like Meech and his brother Terry got into issues? Like, I grew up around, I knew how that dynamic was. I was like, man, eventually the young bro gonna grow up and it's not gonna work out because you got two cats that just don't like to freaking say people to tell them no. So now they all gonna start throwing their dirty laundry out there, right? Now it's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna take these 100 billions from you. If you don't, you know what I mean, start backing down. And like you said, Elon don't care. He got bread. He's like, all right, well, I'll just go over to China basically and do my business. But by the way, here you're gonna try to take 100 billion. I'm trying to take your whole life. That dude is in the Epstein files, right? But everybody already knew that. I already knew that. You feel what I mean? It's public. It's public knowledge. He's been in photos from the freaking late 80s. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like this. So for them, but I promise you that I promise you, an unredacted Epstein file ain't never gonna hit the street. It's too many. It's too many. It's too much bread. It's too much money behind that. You know what I'm saying? It's too many people that are so far up in that food chain that is never gonna see the daylight. Does that make sense? And somehow Epstein killed himself in a max prison. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you already knew that.
I just cut you off for a second. So the people who don't know about what the Epstein files and what we're talking about. So Epstein, that's his last name, was a convicted child rapist. There's no other way to say it. He was a convicted child rapist that was running a sex trafficking ring. He even had his own private island. He was a billionaire, and he cozied up with the Clintons, with one of the Prince of Wales. He with Trump. A lot of powerful people, and a lot of powerful people he knew, he was good friends with, flew on his plane and went to his island. And the folklore or the conspiracy or what's been, some of it has been proven, but there's a lot of files that haven't come out yet that Trump promised to bring out. For instance, who all visited the island. They have come out with some of the files of who was on his plane, but ironically, they're saying Trump was never on a plane, but they haven't put all the files out. So this is QAnon, and just one of the conspiracies out there is, one, he didn't kill himself, that Hillary actually had him killed, although he died under Trump when Trump was president and in charge of prisons. So Trump promised while he was running again for the QAnon people that he would let all the files out. The files will come out. The files will come out. The files come out. He's been in office now for 5 months. The files have not come out. There's no timetable on when the files will come out. So when Elon hit him on this, it went to Trump's heart because his main soul of support are people, in my opinion, are people who believe in conspiracy theories and QAnon and stuff like that. That's where he started. He was on the fringes and made the fringes the norm, you know, with space lasers from bad built butch body. So that is what we're talking about, is the fact that Trump has not let these files out. So Elon is hitting them on today. Why aren't these files out? Because you're in them, which I believe he's in them too.
100%.
And I hope the news actually picks up on it and talks about it. So,
no. So here's what's been happening, right? You ever heard? I know you heard that term, a hurt dog holler. So that's what's happening right now, right? So what they're doing is they're throwing dirt on each other, right? They're throwing dirt on each other, and the man is telling them, it's like, listen, I'm going to take this funding from you. If people don't really realize how corrupt that is, because you don't like, because you said something I don't like, I'm going to bypass all the contractual things that made this contract work, just to say I don't want to mess with you. That is the most corrupt thing ever.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Because that is weaponization of government. That's the true weaponization of government. But he's been doing it already. He's been doing it against Harvard. He's been doing it against law firms.
Yeah.
He's been doing fascist shit already.
All freaking illegal. And nobody, and you know the funny part is we literally just talked about this. And you know who I don't blame, man? I don't blame Trump for doing what he's doing. You know who I blame? Because he said, the reason I say that is if I see a snake,
a
snake, I'm gonna play around with that snake. That snake is going to be a snake, no matter what environment you put him in. That's what I ain't gonna call him a snake. That's what he is. Everybody knew that. The people that are supporting that are buttons that he tell that when he tells the button, knowing that is wrong.
Hey Ronnie, you breaking up.
The people that are backing are the ones that need.
Ronnie, you breaking up.
Yeah, put that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go over here.
There you go.
How about now? Better? But is that better?
Yeah, you much better. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like a snake gonna be a snake. So you can't be mad at them for being a snake. But what you can do, you can be mad at a snake.
You breaking up again, bro. Hey,
I'm worried because it works better.
What is going on? Can you hear me, Candace?
Oh, I mean,
your thing is breaking. I think come back in, back out and come back in. Yeah, back out and come back in. All right, Candace. This is your first time on a pod in a while. Welcome back to the couch. We appreciate it. What brought you on tonight, and have a seat and let me know what you're thinking.
I'm back.
So I just wanted to come on and say that I think this is a fake feud. I think this is a fake feud. I think it's a distraction from something that's about to happen or something that is going on. I don't think it's a real beef. I think it's been orchestrated by Trump and Musk to disguise us or take our attention away from something that could be possibly about to happen. I don't know if this is something that they're doing maybe to possibly affect the stock market or maybe try to get something past us because now we're so focused on this feud, or if this is something that, like I think the whole firing of Elon was fake too. Like I think all of this is just a big old plan of the administration to cover up something. That's what I came on here to say.
All right, before we go further, I want to say anybody that's watching on Facebook, please go to the YouTube. Is in the comments and watch it from there. If you want to join the show, but again, it's in the comments. You can click the link to join it. Please, everybody that's watching on the YouTube, please like and subscribe. Now let's break down what you said. So you feel like everything is fake?
Yes. I feel like I feel like it's a distraction. Like they're distracting us from something.
I think it's possible. I can't say that it's not possible. Because it is politics, it is Trump, it is but to me, the reason why I don't think it's fake is because I think if there is any principle with Elon to a certain standpoint, he don't play about his money. And he was losing money with Tesla and everything. That's why he left. And I think, like I said earlier, the having high interest rates hurts his business because businesses will tell you they rather borrow, they use other people's money to make money. And when it costs them more money to make money, that's a problem for them. The tariffs is a problem for him. He talked about that as well, that the tariffs are going to create a recession. That's a problem for him. I think in some standpoint, he's waking up to the realization of what he put himself into when he got in bed with Trump. And he realized, and I think now he knows for sure that Trump don't care, but he's not a principled person at all. It's all was best for him. And Elon is in it for himself as well. So that's why I agree with Ronnie when he talks about the narcissism that is definitely some, that the narcissism at play. And I don't know how they get off of this roller coaster that they're on. Ronnie?
Listen, they're not going to get off this roller coaster. They're going to tear the whole park down. What's going to happen, right? Because, like you said, I've been saying this from the beginning. All you got to do is follow the money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't got to do too much digging. You don't got to do. I mean, you do have to loop, but it's all you got to do is follow the money. Follow how the money roll. That's all you got to do. And when you start playing with those at that level money, you're not talking $100. You're talking millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. That's a lot of money, right? So what they're doing is they're messing with people's money. Because if you say, hey, I'm gonna stop your contracts, that's hundreds of millions of dollars for Elon.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna be like, okay, well, you are a pedophile. You in the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
How much if that comes out, and I'm sure it won't, but could you imagine the amount of money that his family would lose at that point, and all the other people, because he ain't gonna fall down by himself. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Everybody's name would be up on that file for sure.
So do you think that if he really saw that, do you think Elon already has a copy of it? I mean, he had access to everything.
No.
If he was able to see it, if he was able to see the file, I can rest assure you that that he has a copy of it somewhere. He had too much access to everything. So I wouldn't put it past that he has a copy. I just think.
Yeah.
What do you say?
If it's real, like we said, if this fight is real,
if this fight is real, why not? If it's real, release it. Like if you this upset, release what you're talking about. Show us proof.
Yeah.
I just think it was just thrown out there. I just think it's just something that was just thrown out there.
Now, this is something I will say. I think right now this is just words. Until you start seeing contracts getting canceled, when the money is really, really getting thrown down, then I think you'll start to see stuff like that actually happen. And then you'll start to hear some more of the tea of Elon saying he did everything, I told him to do, and all of these different things that, like, some more of the stuff will come out. I think the Epstein thing was just a shot over the bow. Like, you don't want to play these games with me. And I think we all agree that Trump was a bully, and bullies don't like get punched in the face. And I think that was a punch in the face today by Elon. So I don't see, I see Trump backing down before Elon. I'm gonna say that right now.
No. So no, he don't have it in him. They don't listen. They don't have. Neither one of them have it in them to back down. They're not gonna not for something like that. That's an attack on your person. You know what I mean? Like, you're a person. Like, you telling me that I'm a pedophile, basically, is what you're saying. Nah, that ain't backing down. That ain't he was just being mad. None of that crap. Have you noticed how they've been playing it? They're starting to like this, or get away from this Elon, or this Elon Doge thing. If you're thinking about it, because all you gotta do is watch the subtleties of what they're saying. You know what I mean? Eventually,
it was a farce. That was a farce.
Yeah, I'm with you, right? But the subtle things that they're starting to say against each other, and I don't know what your name is, but she may be right. This might be a part of they series of, or whatever they want to play, how they want to play it. Like, hey, look over here when we're doing some crazy stuff over there, right? But I don't think it's like that in this case. Does that make sense? I think this is a real thing where you had because you got to think, like, he got 200 something million followers on, what is it, X?
Well, X, yeah.
And the whole world is following Trump. You ain't just gonna slightly
Where's
say
the file at? Where's the file at? Where's the file? Who owns the file?
It ain't never coming out.
Yeah, the FBI
Who owns the file?
FBI has it.
So why the FBI haven't been going after people? If he's able to see Trump name is on the list, that means you see the FBI know the people that are on the list. If the FBI have this file, so why isn't the FBI going after the people that are in the file?
Because they're senators and judges and CEOs.
What does that mean?
And
I think the FBI.
And I think there's statute limitations on some of this stuff too. I think it's some statute of limitation stuff. I'm not 100% on that, but I believe that there is. But Epstein went to jail, and his major D or major nine, whatever you want to call her, she went to jail as well because she was the one that was
So
getting
why
the
everybody else hadn't gone to jail? Just two people have gone to jail for this supposedly file or what the supposedly activity. When there are other people that's on this file, why were those the only two people that went to
they're so
jail?
powerful. Because they're that powerful. Like I just told you, when the Prince of Wales or allegedly, everything all this
Yeah,
alleged,
all of this is
Everything's
all of this
allegedly.
alleged.
alleged. And it might not be the Prince of Wales.
I feel like this
One of the
is
princes, or a duke or something. Somebody in a royal family. One of the old royal family members, is in a file allegedly. Is in went to Epstein Island allegedly, just like they say Clinton did.
I think this
That's
is
why.
stupid. I think that we pick up on rumors too easy. Just like the whole Diddy thing, where they were saying that Diddy was gay and Diddy had underage women at these freak offs and all these people were at the freak offs. None of that has come out in his trial. None of it. Don't you think if all of these rumors that people were saying about Diddy, when you think that would start coming out? He had underage girls at the party.
Yeah.
That hadn't come out, has it? But people was running with it. People still running with it. Like,
You
when
want
is
to
this gonna come out?
yeah,
Like they should have hit that a long time ago. The whole Diddy gay. Literally in the trial, they talked about how the Cassie would tell the men that my husband isn't gay. So all of these rumors we pick up and we run with it. And how do we know this isn't one of those things? When you talk about the Prince of Wales, rumors, like these are rumors for us to be sit here and say it ain't coming out because these are senators and the Prince of Wales and things like that. How do we know that for sure?
Because there's video and footage
yeah,
and people
and it's
already
been some
testifying.
legends.
Who's seen
Yeah,
the video?
and it's been
But but
so
this
Brisbane.
she missed. Yeah, you got to watch the rest of it. It's,
Yeah,
it's already it's already out there. The girl that a lot of the girls that
a
he
lot of the girls
touched
have
with,
talked.
they've already
Yeah,
testified.
yeah,
They got ledgers. They got flight ledgers and
yeah.
passenger ledgers on who, because when you get on the airplane, you have
That's
to
how
have
he
a
was
ledger.
convicted. Yeah, that's how he
Right,
was
right,
convicted. He
right.
just
So
didn't let it out.
yeah. So all that stuff is true. And the thing about Diddy is people have been talking about this decades ago. This ain't new. They always been talking
I
about
didn't
this.
say
And
it
if
was
you
new. What I'm
hold on,
saying is it hadn't come out. It's
hold on.
not. If people talk about it, you hear the rumors about it. Does that make it true? None of this has come out in Diddy's trial, but
Well,
y'all still talking about it.
I understand completely what you're saying, but if you do gayish stuff, you gay. I'm just saying
What's gay stuff?
if
What do
you
you
out
call gay stuff?
if you licking sperm off another man's sperm off of
I
him,
didn't hear they
that's
was
gay.
looking for him. I
No,
just
no, no,
heard
no,
that
no.
he wanted on himself,
I
like
heard he just
get
wanted
off
the
the
sperm
certain
on his
his
That's
nipples,
body.
that's gay.
allegedly.
That's
All
gay.
alleged, all alleged.
Yeah, allegedly. That's
Yeah.
gay. A man,
See how
a
people
real
pick
man
up
ain't never
rumors?
gonna do
How
that.
is that gay? Because he wanted to. I'm just like, I think,
Are you
I
serious? Come
think
on, brother. You got to be 100.
I think people have a definition and
You
perceive
got to be
things in
100.
different ways. People perceive things in different ways. You perceive it your way, and I'm gonna perceive it my way. I
Okay.
think, and I'm just going to say that a lot of things for me. I need to be able to feel like if this is real, then it needs to come out. If the whole Diddy stuff is real, gay, underage girls, bring it out. If all these men, these senators, and these powerful people, why isn't any? I can write anybody's name on the ledger. I can go in there as Whitney fucking. I can sign on as Whitney Houston. That don't mean people are using their real names. I'm just saying all of this could be like we talking about stuff, but we really ain't seen like them go after nobody else.
But that
We
doesn't.
naming all these names, but they ain't going after nobody.
Like, listen, I'm with you, but like Bobby was trying to allude to, and this is how people don't realize, like, people at that level, we don't even know how that level really works. We kind of assume how it works. When you got people that run the media, they run radio, run the newspapers, they run all forms of communications and all kind of everything that put out for people, and you're never going to hear about that stuff because they're not going to let it release. They have too much power. There are things that are happening that right now that we still don't know about by these crazy people. I mean, I shouldn't say crazy, but these super oligarch people. That is true. And as a matter of fact, they talked about Epstein Island decades ago, right? So that's the thing that people don't
Allegedly.
realize.
It's all
Oh, oh,
still
oh, oh.
allegedly. It's
Yes,
all still a
everything,
rumor that we've never
everything
seen.
alleged. But you ever heard of a word called perception?
Yeah, I just told you that. You perceive things different than I do.
No,
I receive information different than you receive information.
but well, with perception, there's usually a lot of truth in there. Does that make sense? Like everybody knew, like the person, like you don't mess around with that person in a house down the street because this is what happened. You may have been too young not to see it, but if your older people are telling you that, then more than likely it happened. Does that make sense? Doesn't necessarily mean that in your truth
I
that
look
you won't
young.
see
Thank
it.
you, boo.
No. What I mean by that is like you might see things, or you might hear things from people that are older that actually experience things. But if you're young enough, if you're too young and you haven't experienced it, then is their truth, or is it just or is their perception wrong? You feel what I mean? So
And
for you to try to understand it, you're not going to understand because you didn't live through it. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay.
I want to add with the stuff when it comes to the Diddy stuff.
Okay.
Maybe being gay isn't relevant to the and you maybe can speak. I know you can't speak to it better than I can. It's not relevant to the RICO like Keith is talking about here.
Right.
So why?
Right.
And they
But
may
underage kids is.
and maybe they can't prove it. So you can't allege it if you know you can't prove it. They
But
have no
people still
underage.
talking about it.
They
You
have no,
still
but they
people
have no.
still
They
thinking
have
he
no.
got underage
So, but
kids.
we're talking about the court. Now we're talking about the actual court. Not the court of public opinion. You're talking about the actual court. The court system and Department of Justice are not going to allege something that they can't prove because that throws out the whole
So
case.
how did it
Right?
even get to this point? How did it even get out there?
People have been talking about him for years. Again,
Not
that's why
underage
people
100%.
are
kids.
talking
I've
about
never
this.
heard that until just recently.
I heard about that when they was talking about Justin Bieber and Usher,
100%. Yes.
and I mean those are two I heard. I haven't heard about underage girls, but I heard about Justin Bieber and Usher. That's what
And
I
they,
heard about.
And they
and
talked
all,
about that openly years ago. That stuff happened. So that's the thing. Like people don't want to hear the truth. You know what I mean? But this ain't the case.
who
Is not
talked
about
about it?
Justin Bieber and freaking Usher talked about it. What do you mean?
So Justin Bieber and Usher said that Diddy
They
diddy
both
them.
no,
Oh my God.
no.
Exactly.
Not in the sense where you talking about where he got, but they talked about some things that was not
Yeah,
right. You feel what I mean?
I know. I can probably find it and bring it up for you.
Yeah.
Where Usher talked about, he was sitting on David Letterman, one of the night couches, and he was saying, "Yeah, Daddy, he took me through some things. He was like, some things I seen that I
Right.
shouldn't have seen as
Right.
a teenager."
Yep. And remember, he asked me, said, "Would you ever leave your kids with Diddy?" And you know what? His answer was immediately, no, absolutely not. So that
Yeah,
should tell you some stuff, right?
yeah.
So
So how do we know that he's not talking about the fighting and the abuse and the drug use? And how do we know that's not what he's talking? Why do it automatically goes to SA?
He absolutely could be. He
That's
absolutely
he
could.
and
could
so,
talk
but
about
that's what I'm
anything.
saying. Like, why does it automatically have to go to like some type of abuse? Of course that's abuse, but why does it have to go to an SA type of abuse? Why can't it be? Yeah, we saw a lot of drug use. We saw him beating Cassie because that's what most people talking about of his relationship and how toxic it was with this person. So maybe
That's
that
not a
could be what
crime.
that's what he's talking about.
Welcome, Miss Diva. This is your first time actually sitting on the couch. You
No,
want to try to
actually, I was on
No, it's
last
not.
week,
She's
but
been on
I was
before.
All right, sorry.
incognito.
Well, I have so many guests now that I can't remember
I
everybody.
know.
Good job, baby.
A great thing. A great thing.
All right, so welcome again to the couch.
Thank you.
We this whole Diddy thing is off topic, so we're gonna give it
Yeah, it
another
is. I'm
couple minutes.
sorry.
We're gonna give it another couple minutes because I have some other things that I wanted to talk about. So Diva, go ahead and go, and then I'm gonna switch it up to the
We don't
next
have to
topic.
talk about Diddy anymore.
Yeah, we can pass on
Okay.
Diddy.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
that
So,
has been out for a long time. I mean, everybody
yeah.
knew he was a freaky deaky.
Yeah.
Just because he's freaky don't make it illegal.
It's not. I
Exactly.
agree
That's
with
what I'm
you.
saying.
Exactly. If people
We
do,
all
I
saw
as
agree.
him.
long as it's free
We all
willing, as
saw
long as it's
him
free
beat
willing, that's all that matters.
Cassie.
Yeah, that's as
Yeah.
long as it's free willing. So, all right, Miss Diva. So you're here. Our first subject that we talked about was Elon and Trump.
And Trump. Yeah.
Do you first off? I'm gonna question it because we got a conspiracy theorist by the name of Candace on here.
I
So
heard her.
is it real?
It
Is it
is. It
real?
is real.
And then the
Elon's
last
making
thing
it
I'm gonna
personal.
ask you because I'm asking this to the whole panel here is who do you think wins? Who would you want to win? And could it be America that wins? In the end.
America's not going to win.
Right.
Whoever's got the most money, Elon, is going to win. That's always the way it is. And he doesn't really have anything to lose. Trump has more to lose. He's president of the United States, and his numbers are already dropping, and his ego is bigger than anything I've ever seen. So,
see, I disagree. Where one, Trump has more to lose simply because he can't run again. Well, technically, he can't run again.
Well, he's working on that.
Yeah, he's working on that, but and that may stop him from doing that. But more importantly, Trump controls the biggest welfare queen in our country is Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Between Starlink, between the rocket,
he's got hundreds of millions in government contracts.
Yes, he has gotten over almost $500 billion through government contracts in the United States. So he is the big. So he has more to meet. He has more to lose than Trump.
Well, but they're contracts. That means they've been signed and they are executable. And if Trump backs out of them, the government gets sued.
100%.
America loses.
I agree.
And with the whole dangling the Epstein thing over his head, like do it if you want to, like
that's what that is,
Yeah.
But he knows more than that. He also posted that Trump wouldn't be in office if it wasn't for him, and neither would some of the Republicans.
Now we all know that he stole the election for Trump.
Yeah. So that could come out
your
too.
Full conspiracy. Your full hat is on today, huh? Full hat is on. I personally don't. I say this. I do not allow myself the thought process to think that the election was stolen, this, that, and the other, because it probably would keep me up at night. So I don't allow myself.
I don't need any more votes. What does that tell you? I mean, he publicly said, "I don't need any more votes."
Now, I didn't allegedly. I didn't see that.
I heard it.
I missed the last part. What happened? What happened again?
Trump said in one of his rallies, "I don't need any more votes."
I know he said we may not have to vote again.
No, he said that too. But he said in one of his rallies, look it up.
I
don't need any more votes.
So lastly, so you feel like Elon is going to win because Trump has more to lose. What does a win look like for Elon? And I'm gonna ask you two the same thing. Anybody, if you want to join the pod, get on. The link is in the chat. If you're on Facebook, please go to YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. All right, go ahead. What do you think?
I think a win for Elon means he keeps his contracts intact, and Trump really isn't saying that much against Elon. He's hardly said anything against Elon, other than, being angry about him not wanting, liking his big, beautiful, ugly bill. But I think a win for Elon is just him keeping his contracts intact, which Trump has threatened, kind of threatened. He did mention cutting his contracts.
Yeah.
And that's a win for Elon.
So let me give you a quick update on what Elon has posted on Twitter. This was an hour ago. I hate that needs to be clear. He retweeted this. I hate this needs to be clarified, but Elon did not criticize Trump personally first. Trump criticized Elon first. Elon criticized Trump's bill first. Trump commented on Elon around June 5th at 12:08 Eastern on a press conference. At 12:46 Eastern, Elon commented on
with the Epstein.
And he commented, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election."
Yeah.
And then the bill and moving forward is what we should focus on, but the truth matters. And he also posted, this is 3 hours ago, this is the last thing we'll talk about, is Elon's stance is principled, Trump's stance is practical. Tech needs Republicans for the present. Republicans need tech for the future. Drop the tax cuts. Cut some pork and get the bill through. So drop some tax cuts. I'm sure he's not talking about tax cuts for the rich.
Yeah, he is talking about tax cuts for the rich, because that's where all the pork is. That's going to increase the deficit by $1 trillion.
There are tax cuts for
and the bill does cut SNAP. It cuts Medicaid.
It does.
So those cuts are in there already. Elon was talking about the tax cuts. He doesn't need tax cuts. He's the richest man in the world. He could give a shit about tax cuts. But he doesn't want the deficit blown up. He doesn't want inflation, which, that's what it's going to end up causing, because that affects his business.
It does. It does. All right, Candace, who wins? You still think it's fake? So do I need to ask you who wins or
I think it's fake. Fake beef.
All right, Ronnie, you think it's fake?
It's definitely
And
no. Hell no.
so who
don't do
wins
that.
and who wins and could America win? And could America win? Who wins? And what does the win look like for either one of them? We lost Ronnie. All right. Well, we're gonna continue on then because we can't wait for him. All right. So some other things happened yesterday and the day before. Trump has started a travel ban on 12 countries. And Ronnie came back. Here you go.
Yeah,
All right, we're about to leave.
I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah. So for me,
real quick before we travel on.
All right, who can win? There's nobody gonna win. There's no winners in anybody. Everybody's gonna pay for that, right?
So we're gonna pay for it.
So for me, how this all I think it's gonna work is like when you say stuff about persons like that could be considered defamation, right?
Mm-hmm.
You heard anything about that? You heard him say, "Oh, I can sue. I can just take him out just for defamation."
He's the king of sue,
and he's quick to sue people for defamation.
But why you think? But why you think he ain't even mentioned that yet?
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I mean?
Allegedly.
100%, right? So allegedly, right? So that's the whole. That should be a linchpin of whoa. So if Trump backs down, that's just gonna make more. That's gonna make them investigate it even more because like wait, you back down? He said you was allegedly on this list. Oh, it must be true. So we're gonna have to dig into that. What you think them Democrats?
But who's gonna investigate?
Who's gonna dig into it? Because you said it's too powerful.
What you think them
His
Democrats
Justice
gonna do?
Department.
Listen,
they ain't gonna investigate.
No. What you think them Democrats gonna do when they take over?
They already had taken over. They could have been investigating.
That's exactly why I've been saying.
No.
Exactly what I've been saying. Like if this been out, why nobody has done anything? If all of these people is on this list, why nobody has done anything about it?
I know why Merrick Garland didn't do anything because he was too busy dealing with January 6th. That took up, pretty much the whole administration, and then Trump lets them all off the hook with his pardons. So, the shock and awe, that's the playbook. Is throw so much shit at people that they can't focus on, one thing. That January 6th issue with the trials and everything took up so much of the Justice Department's time. They could barely focus on anything else.
Exactly what's happening now with the fake beef.
Well, nobody's really. I mean, people are talking about it. People are.
Everybody is talking about it.
Well, and that's a win for Trump because he loves to be in the media. He doesn't care whether to him there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah,
it's all publicity. He doesn't care. But if those files come out, which they won't because it's his Justice Department.
Yeah, they're not going to come out. And if they do, they will be heavily redacted.
They'll be heavily redacted, just like the JFK.
Or they act like here's everything. This is everything, but they still hold stuff back.
They still holding stuff back.
That's what I
said.
Like
the JFK files that he said, that was supposed to be such a bombshell, and they came out, and there was nothing that anybody didn't already know.
Yeah. That's just like you can't at this point believe the inflation numbers and GDP numbers and all of that stuff. All right. Then moving on. So I was talking about that there's a travel ban now that starts on June 9th, which happens to be my son's birthday. And so with the travel ban, I just wanted to give you guys a glimpse of the countries that are being affected. And
Black and brown countries, Muslim countries. That's no surprise.
Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, the Republic of the Congo, Guyana. I don't know how to pronounce that other one. I am not Ethri? Haiti.
I can't even see it. I guess
you read.
Iran.
It's you something.
Yeah.
Libya.
Utria. It's Utria.
Utria. Okay. Utria. Haiti. Iran. Hey, look here, y'all. Y'all don't pay me to pronounce. All right. Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen.
Yeah.
And before we go further, travel ban, he said, was in response to this travel ban was in response to the guy in Colorado who threw the Molotov cocktail at the Jewish people during a march.
Well, he wasn't from any of those countries.
Exactly. He was from Egypt. He was from Egypt, but these were the countries he banned.
Yeah. So
all right, Ronnie, go ahead.
There's too many light-skinned Africans in Egypt.
Hold on. So I get that, but all those places have been banned pretty much anyway for U.S. citizens. You don't want to go to them places anyway.
My wife made me go to Egypt, but they're not going there.
So Egypt is nice. I'm talking about like most of the other places in here. Yeah. You ain't going to Yemen.
Yeah, I'm not going to Yemen.
You're not going to Eritrea because they're in a war. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to Chad. You don't want to go to those places anyway. So people are like, oh my God, he's banning these places because if you go look at, all you gotta do is look up IRS or CIA.gov, look it up, and you can go look at any of the countries. I mean, I know we put our information in there, and they'll tell you like what level these places are. They are really bad places. You don't want to visit them anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is kind of like a throw in the dark. Oh, this is all the minority. No, it's not. No, it's not. Those places are really, really, really bad places that you really don't want to go to anyway, except Egypt. Egypt is beautiful. But I'm not tripping on that. Okay. You know what I mean? He might want to put Russia on that motherfucker.
Oh, he ain't gonna put Russia on there.
He never will.
No.
He never will. To me, it's not even tripping on it. It's just it just shows his
racism.
Racism and his callousness, which leads me to my next one, which again, in the grand scheme of things, does it hurt people individually or in the grand scheme of things? No, it doesn't. But it just again shows his callousness, his racism, or his I'm gonna just say, if you're not white heterosexual male, there's going to be a problem. You know, he doesn't, and he's constantly going to continue to show that. So the next one that I wanted to talk about was what he's doing to Navy warships.
Oh, that's appalling.
Anybody that's watching,
appalling.
Yes, anybody that's watching, if you want to chime in, please feel free to call in and join the show. If you're watching on Facebook, go to YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please like. I'm asking you, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And so the next one is we're going to talk about what he's doing to the Navy warships that he's about to rename. And if you're talking, you did all the stuff with Doge, you cut probationary employees, you cutting this, that, and the other. It's going to cost millions to change these ships' names. Yet we're willing to do it. Why?
Because they're racist.
Here's an easy depiction of why. Bam.
Yeah.
There's only one white man on this list, and he happens to be gay.
Right. So he's homophobic, he's racist, and he's sexist.
Absolutely. So you have Harvey Milk. I'm just telling you about each and every one of them. Harvey Milk, he was an LGBTQ rights activist and Navy veteran.
Got assassinated.
We have Harriet Tubman, that was assassinated. Yes, we have Harriet Tubman, abolitionist, and we all know about the Underground Railroad. We got RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. The first, was she the first?
No, that was Sandra Day
she wasn't
O'Connor,
the first. Sandra Day O'Connor. So she was the second
female
Supreme Court
Justice.
She's Supreme Court Justice. We have the first Black Supreme Court Justice and Thurgood Marshall,
replaced by a self-loathing Black man.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that.
We have Dolores Huerta, was a prominent segregist and abolitionist. And we have Cesar Chavez, who was a labor leader and civil rights activist. And we have Medgar Evers, who was a civil rights activist and was assassinated in 1963. And I did not create a picture for this, but I should have, of what they did change also, which was when we changed it from Fort Bragg, which was a Confederate general, to Fort Liberty. And we changed it back to Fort Bragg,
who was a racist General Bragg.
So That in and of itself, just to me, shows that I wish we had our brother Ethan on here, that racism exists.
Oh, he'd still deny it.
Yeah, he'll find a way. I think he would.
Right.
I think he would. But hopefully he's watching and he can call in. If he would, I would love to.
And that Mega Everest picture is something that's a rendering of what he would have looked like at a certain age too.
Yeah.
So that's a
Yes.
big deal. Like that to me, like you said, is a point blank in your face. That's that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I was saying before, you can't blame that. You can't blame Trump for being Trump. You got to blame the people that's around him and supporting him and doing the things that are.
Blame the people that voted for him.
Those are the people that didn't vote.
Those are the people. Those are the people that you
yes, the people that didn't
There's
vote.
more people that didn't vote that did vote for him.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that he ain't come up with this idea on his own. He probably didn't care about the name of this shit.
No, he has no idea.
This is probably in Project 2025.
Yes. Well,
yeah. He has.
But naming a Navy ship is a big thing. Normally, when they don't change names ever. You know what I mean? So
ever. I never heard of it.
So for me, kind of like that was like it's a lot of people that's like really upset about that kind of stuff. It's really starting to open up a lot of people's eyes. Like, oh my God, this is what's really. But some people don't open their eyes as quick as others, so you can't really be mad at them. They just finally started like, oh, this is my last little straw. You can't be doing that. Now I can really see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But those are the people, to be honest with you, those are the people when they finally turn and see the light, those are going to be the ones that's going to be out there on the street. I promise you. It ain't going to be us. Yeah. It's going to be them cats where you're going to be like, you lied to us. And that's going to be the worst part of it.
And they're surprised that he lied. You know, he's told over 35 documented lies in his first term. How anybody could 35,000 documented lies. You know, you can Google them.
They don't believe it.
Right, exactly. It's like they don't believe he's a racist. Even though he's doing all this shit, they don't believe he's a racist.
Yep. All right, we're gonna go into our last subject, and I'm actually using Cardi B and Offset as a vessel to talk about it. But I'm not sure if everybody in the pod that's watching knows, but Cardi B and Offset are getting a divorce.
Really?
They have 3 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have 3 kids, and
then one of them a baby.
One of them
8 months.
8 months. 8 months. And Cardi says he's only seen him 5. That Offset has only seen him 5 times in his life.
Dang.
She has moved on. She is now dating a wide receiver from the Bills, Stephon Diggs.
Really?
Yes. And you really didn't know? I thought you was joking.
Well,
I'm being sarcastic. Yes.
Has been consuming my life.
That's it consumes you. All right.
Current events.
So yeah, here's some current events. So
damn.
Offset.
Something did come across my feed, but I kind of brushed it up and was like, oh, Cardi B, but I didn't know what it was talking about. But damn.
Yes. So they're getting a divorce, and Offset has filed for spousal support.
No shit. Well, she makes more money than him.
Yes. She makes more money than him, and I wanted to watch we're going to watch the video of, honestly, it's just of Cardi going off.
Well, she should file for child support then. That will offset.
And she did not file.
Oh, he want joint custody too.
Yeah, well, even when it was going through, she wanted a divorce. She was just like, I don't want no child support. I'll still pay for everything. Just give me the divorce. And he came in and said he wanted spousal support.
Oh, damn.
And now and he has been granted spousal support. I don't know how much.
No doubt.
I do not know how much.
Oh, here we go.
But
this is gonna be a good subject.
This is that's why we needed to get to this subject. So I will say that he granted spousal support. Cardi B is worth an estimated 80 to 100 million. Offset is worth 30 million. And so the spousal support was granted. We're going to talk about it all on the other side on our opinion on all of this, because this is should be a good conversation. So here's it's 3-minute video, and then let's get to it.
I have a good month. I could have a bad month. I could be in a room, but guess what? I have to pay that bill. No help. With no help. Nobody, me. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Those are my kids. I'm cool with that. Shit don't faze me. But you're not gonna sit here and try to bash me as a mother when I pay for everything. Because you left me with a bill for a whole entire year and I haven't said a thing. You don't even offer. So stop playing with me. That I'm trying to keep everything. What is everything? What's everything? What's everything? You want to split the Atlanta house? Let's split it. Yo, I'm still paying. He hasn't paid the mortgage for a whole year in the Atlanta house. You're in the Atlanta house right now. And your bitch be going over there. And I want you, and you know what's so crazy? I be wanting to go over there and clap shit the fuck up. Cause at the end of the day, I'm paying for the bill and that shit. Cause you haven't paid shit for a whole year. But you know what? You harass me so much with my when I be with my that I just want peace. I want peace. You want to be with your bitch in this house? Alright, fine. Just please leave me alone. I just want you to leave me the alone. I just want to be left alone. I want to be free. What, baby? Whatever the you want, I'll give it to you. I just want to be free. I don't want to be called 40,000 times. And I've been trying to protect your image. But you asking me for spousal support. And it's like, wow, that's some real bitch shit. And then when people ask you for spousal support, you're trying to make it seem like because I'm a bad mom. Well, when you tell that I'm a bad mom, make sure you tell that Cardi B, Belcalis Marlenis Amanzar is paying 50,000 a fucking month for her kids. Cause you don't help me with nothing. Go tell the people when's the last time you seen your fucking kids. And you know what you did? You know what you did? You know what you did? You coerced my daughter. You did a video and you keep this video. I don't give a I take a picture every single day. I can tell y'all every single day where I be at work. You coerced my daughter to say on FaceTime, oh, I miss my mommy. She's never here. She this, and that. And every single day you with that video. Like if I don't be busting my ass for them motherfucking kids, the and you know I was gonna stay quiet, but you're not gonna be sitting here in the industry trying to say that I'm a mom. Bust my ass for these kids. And you haven't helped me with shit for a year. You need help. You need to go to I don't know where you need that. You need some help. I've been giving you grace because I know you're not mentally well. I've been giving you some grace because I know you're not mentally well. But enough, motherfucker.
All right, so let's talk about it. I'm gonna go first, and then I'm gonna open the floor up to everybody else. First we're gonna talk about alimony for a minute. Or we can talk about it all. My views on alimony is simple. If you have been a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, and you didn't work, you wasn't working, you took care of the kids, you took care of the family, y'all separated, I think that the other spouse should help you until you get to a place where you can help yourself.
I agree with that.
I truly, that's how I see it. Child support is this. I feel like child support should be the only time I feel like you need to go to courts to go to child support for child support is if let me bring this thing back, is if you need somebody to tell you to do right.
Mm-hmm.
If you taking care of your kids and you doing what you're supposed to be doing, you seeing your kids, anytime the parent that has the kid the most is taking care of is actually say, hey, I need this, I need that, and you willingly helping and or ask them or give them money and stuff. I don't think you need to have the government in your business.
I agree with that too.
That's but if you that dude or you that girl that ain't paying ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, then we got a problem, and then I have to get somebody to force you to do your part.
Right.
So that is my personal view on both of those. I believe that allegedly, I can say allegedly because he filed papers and he's getting paid for it. So I believe Offset is a fuck
He's a deadbeat.
That's what I think. He's a
$30
fuck
million
dude.
deadbeat.
You got $30 million and you asking her for money?
Yeah.
For money? Like that's some bitch ass shit. It is. And I gotta say, Cardi sound like a dude that's going through some things. She really
a
do.
year, and she's been protecting
really
him, because she hadn't come out,
So,
putting his shit out there.
She hasn't. So I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. She says she pays $10,000 a month for a private driver. She pays $80,000 a year for private tuition. She pays $3,000 weekly for a babysitter.
Damn.
She pays a nanny $500 a day.
Damn.
I don't know the difference between a babysitter and a nanny. I don't know what
$500
different
a day. The nanny should be
jobs you
babysitting.
got to do for that. Yeah.
The nanny is for the baby, and the babysitter is for the other older kids, like pick them up from school, stuff like that.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. There you go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Candace.
You pay $250 a month, $250 an hour for tutoring, and then all the kids are in music and sports lessons. She got a private chef and round the clock security because of threats for her and the kids and everything. So I think Offset is a punk ass dude,
and he don't pay shit.
Plain and simple. And I would feel this way, and I would say I won't call him a punk ass dude if it was a woman, but I feel the same way if this was a woman that had means to take care of themselves and just asking for money because you can ask for money. I got a problem with it. That's me. All right, we're gonna go top to bottom. Rita, you go first.
Well, I agree with everything you agree with. He's not entitled. He's got $30 million. Why he want to take money from her? Because taking money from her is taking money from the kids that he never spends any time with. And then he wants half custody. That's bullshit. And I bet it was a male judge who gave him spousal support.
So you think the male judge could have been scorned?
No, I think the male judge probably got shafted by his ex-wife on child support. So he looks out for the brothers.
I think it is not so much as a feeling. I think it's more of what the law says, and that's really what it is. I'm going to say I view it the same way as you guys view it. That alimony is a tool for fairness. It's basically something that is put in place to basically reduce the unfair economic effects of a divorce. Basically, because one spouse is dependent on another spouse, and now there's a divorce happening, and it's meant to ease the transition. But with having $30 million, I mean, there's like what do you need to ease for 30, like when you already have $30 million, your lifestyle isn't in jeopardy. You're able to maintain the same lifestyle you was when you were together.
Well, he got to pay for them hoes in the Atlanta house.
So
he can do that off the 30.
Say what?
He could do that off the 30 that he got.
Right.
He can do that.
So I'm going to say that I don't think it's so much as a feeling from a judge or being scorned as a judge as much as it is what the law says has to be done. I don't know where I don't know where they're.
Are they in New York?
That's what I'm thinking. They may be in New York.
Well, yes, she's in New York.
But I think that's their residential state. Like,
it's going to be wherever.
So I think that's the residential state is New York because that's where they are. So,
but she says she'll give him whatever she wants. She just wants peace. You can't put a price on peace of mind.
So I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what the dollar amount they put on there. For it's like the whole joint custody thing. I just don't. I just feel like if you haven't been in your kid's life, why do you deserve joint custody? Like she said, in over a year, you haven't contributed to anything. You haven't seen them. You've seen your new baby, the 8-month-old 5 times. How do you get her right? How do you fix your mouth to say I want joint custody? Because joint custody basically is we having these kids 50% of the time. If he's going to be awarded joint custody, I can see it not his 50% of the time being lacking.
pick up your phone. I think you're breaking up
I'm sorry.
sometimes. I don't know if it's your mic or what.
I
Right now?
said he's asking for
Yeah.
joint custody.
Still breaking up.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
breaking
you
up.
still breaking up. You need to come back out. Come back. Back out and come back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he wants joint
Ronnie?
custody so he doesn't have to pay child support.
Well, that's not how it is in most
Yeah.
states. Most states it
Right.
depends, and we can talk about that here in a second. Ronnie, before I go
for-
to it depends. Go.
So for me, I like to know the whole full story. So if a judge granted him this money, we don't know the whole story. Does that make sense? So,
Well, yeah, but she makes more than him. It's not hard to infer that she got to make more than him for her to have to pay him money.
So what I mean by that is there's more to this story than just what we're seeing on top of the story. You feel what I mean? Don't he have other kids somewhere that he's not taking care of?
He got a bunch of kids. He's like 5, 6, 7 kids, something like that.
He obviously has a track record of being a shitty dad.
Yeah,
right?
And she knew that when she got
with
him.
Right. So here's the other thing about that too.
It's not knowing the whole story, it's knowing the law.
Would Cardi B be Cardi B without him? No.
Yeah.
No, she was.
No. She didn't blow up.
Crazy.
No, ma'am. He wrote most of her stuff, ma'am. Right. So that's the thing that you got to look at that part of it too. She.
Okay.
So that part of it, he like that's the kind of thing. Like, do I agree? Should he get? Hell no. That I agree 100%. I think we're all on the same page of how it shouldn't be him getting any fucking. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't be cursing because we don't know the whole story. But in my opinion, I agree with all of y'all wholeheartedly. He's a blunt, because I don't have that little thing you got, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you need it. No.
Okay.
He's a blunt. He's a blunt dude. You feel what I mean? But again, we don't know the entire story, dude. Now, when everything comes about, and everybody's right, there's no price on peace. No price on peace. And if she making if she's making the bread, all this money, and she's saying, hey, you know what? This is, and I watched a video where he gave her $500,000 cash on her birthday. Right.
She probably paid for it.
No. This is way before she got big. Right. Oh. So the whole thing is like,
that's not true. You can't say that. You have misinformation. When Bodak Yellow came, Bodak whatever it is came out. That's when Cardi blew up. She wasn't with him then.
Say again.
When what's the song Bodak Black or whatever it is, when that came out, that's really when Cardi blew up. This isn't she blew up with Offset. This isn't him giving her $500,000. She was already a name in the household prior to that. Me and Bobby would have discussions. We would have discussions about Cardi B, Bodak Yellow. We would have discussions about Cardi B because he hated her. He hated Cardi B when she came out, and I loved her. So
she was loving hip hop before she came out with Bodak Yellow.
She was.
She started,
So no. What? She didn't blow up until she got with the man. I'm trying to.
That's not true. I disagree.
So she was a big star before she got with him.
Yes.
She was on Love and Hip Hop before she met.
And her music, she was already Bodak. Like I said, the whole Bodak Yellow is what really excelled her into the music industry.
So here you go. So they started dating in 2017 at the Super Bowls when they made their first public appearance. And February 5th, 2017, which ironically is when the Eagles won a Super Bowl.
Great Eagles.
Look at us. Anyway. And she started on Love and Hip Hop in 2011.
Oh yeah.
That's
6
years before. And let me see.
When did her record come out? 2011. Name me other people that was in 2011. You understand what I mean? Because you was on TV don't mean you was a star. Does that make sense? There were multiple people back then that are you don't even know where they are right now. So her music stuff wasn't popping then. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, did people know who she was?
Came out that same year, 2017. So 6 months after.
So when did she have her first number one hit?
with him.
That was
That was
Bodak
it.
I'm
Yellow.
trying to tell you,
Yeah, that was
with
6
him.
months after they
Now
started
go look
dating, or
at
5 months
the
after
credits
they
and see
started
who wrote it, right? So everybody tried to say, "Oh, she was." No, she wasn't. She was on TV back in 2000. She wasn't. Nobody even knew about her until she came out until 2017.
You didn't know
I'm
about
sorry,
her.
blowing up,
You didn't
So
know about
blowing
her.
up. I don't watch them shows,
Okay.
so
I'm gonna
And
say
his
this.
I don't
name is
watch the shows.
nowhere
I'm
on the
gonna say this.
credits for this.
It's still,
No, yeah.
it's
You say what?
still some bitch ass
It
shit.
is.
No.
It's still some bitch ass shit to me. If let's say he wrote half of her stuff,
He
all her stuff,
didn't.
or whatever it is. I'm just speaking, at what if. Let's say he did
Got
write
paid
some,
for it.
half of that stuff. Then then what you ask for is royalties. You act,
Right.
and that's what you put in the
Right.
court papers. I want royalties. I want points on this. What all the music stuff. I want that. I want that. I don't want spousal support because you're not supporting
Right.
me. I want the money I
Right.
earn. So the fact that he's saying spousal support, that in and of itself is bitch ass shit. It just is. And I would feel that way as if it's a woman doing the same. If it was in reverse and it was a man with 70 and a woman with 30, going about your business, girl.
Yeah.
Going about your business.
Well, I looked it up. I asked Chat actually
Mm-hmm.
about the award, and it says Offset was awarded spousal support due to significant disparity in their financial standings. Under Georgia law, such financial differences can justify spousal support to help the lower earning spouse maintain a lifestyle similar to that experienced during the marriage. I wouldn't call $30 million
So you
lower,
can't.
That's the problem I have. That's the problem I have.
Yeah.
In and of
Right.
itself, we are divorcing.
Right.
You can't have my lifestyle. You can't divorce me and keep my
lifestyle.
lifestyle. That's not
Especially if you don't have the kids.
So what?
No. That's like saying I'm going from being a lawyer to working at McDonald's, but this law firm better keep paying me so I can keep my lifestyle that I have, even though all I can work at now, because I got this bar and all I can work at is McDonald's. No, that's probably not the greatest analogy. But
So
That was a
listen,
good one, though.
I 100%
like,
agree. But a lot of times, like when you get into a marriage, you actually in a money corporation. You're partners, right? There, unless you got
it's a partnership.
hold on, right? So hear this out. Just hear me out. If you in a partnership, they were married, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. In the
yes.
partnership.
Yes.
So at the end of
Yes.
that partnership, what should happen with the assets? If you built all that stuff in the partnership, what happens to the assets? Do they go split?
You divide the assets up, but that's still not what spousal
Yeah,
support
not what he's
is.
asking for.
Hold
that's
on.
not what spousal
Right, he's
support
not
is.
asking for half of her money. He could
And
ask
she
for
said
half
she
of her
would give
money.
it to him. She said,
But
That's
he
what he
don't.
should be doing. But it's still bitch ass shit to me too. But
100%.
that's
But
another
what I'm
subject.
saying is that I don't think he's trying to tax it as hard as he could. You feel what I mean?
How do we know that?
Because
How
he
do
only
we
asked
know
for
what's
50.
not
Because
inside
he
the
only asked for
agreement?
50,000 or whatever it is, and she's worth 100 million.
And we don't know.
Like, are you kidding me?
We don't know.
Like, come on.
Why do you need a
I don't think he
50,000
needs
when you
nothing.
got
I
30
100%
million?
agree, but the law is stupid as it is.
That's bitch ass
Hey, listen.
shit.
Hey, I'm about that. Hey,
It is. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're male or female. It's bitch ass shit. It could pertain to
Yeah,
both.
listen.
I know some bitch ass dudes.
Listen, I'm all about what my man said up in Canada. He said that you wasn't in the gym shooting. You wasn't in what did he say? You wasn't in the gym shooting J's in the gym or some crap like that. It's a song out there that Drake's in it, right? Or Drake has out, right? You wasn't in it because he was like, I hate that. Oh, he was talking about Kobe Bryant. He said Kobe Bryant was about to lose 100 million. And he was like, blah blah. He said he was talking about the dude or Kobe's wife. You weren't in the gym shooting J's in the gym or something like that. I'm like, what? But if you built something, you know what I'm saying, together, that's just how the stuff goes. And do we agree with it? Would I agree with it? If and this is how I just live, right? If a woman gives you a life, there's nothing you'll never be able to compare. You'll never be able to pay that back. I don't care how much money you make. You know what I mean? She gave you 3 lives. Like, come on, like you don't break yourself for it, but you can never try to. You're never going to be able to pay that back. So if you made that money together, and they ask for some of it or whatever it is, and you decide that, hey, I'm going to make this money or I'm going to give it to them, you're not losing money because the money literally is going to go to your kids anyway. Does that make sense?
So Ronnie,
He don't even take care of his
yeah,
kids.
that's what I'm saying. Like he not taking care of his kids.
He not taking care of the
you don't even see
kids.
him.
He got other kids that he not taking care of.
Hello? Can y'all
Yeah.
hear
I'm
me?
here. I'm here. I'm here.
I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
hear
So
you.
no, no, no.
Oh,
I agree.
all right. Yeah. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is like
So,
what I was trying to convey. And again, I don't agree with him getting anything, right? But you don't know the dynamics of they whole thing. We don't know what it is. We don't. We're
so let
speculating.
me ask you a question. Would you feel differently if it was a woman asking for it?
Who for me? It's
The road,
equal to me.
the exact same thing. The exact
It's
same
equal to
thing.
me, right? It shouldn't be
Okay.
nobody
All
getting
right.
none of that. You feel what I mean? But
Okay.
in the past, nobody. If this was flip flop, if this was a flip flop, you think we'd be having this discussion? If,
I'm
no,
gonna say
we
this.
wouldn't have this
I
discussion.
feel like
If it was Offset with 100 million and Cardi saying I want this, we wouldn't even we wouldn't even be
I
having this
would.
discussion.
I would.
that's
Yeah,
not.
I
I
would
I
would
want.
would.
too.
I would want to have the discussion.
But let me say, I don't have a problem. I'm gonna say this. He wants spousal support. Okay, you want spousal support. My thing is you want spousal support when you're not even taking care of your
Right.
kids.
None of his
So
kids.
let's talk, let's kind of back it up. Let's kind of back it up because I don't know if y'all remember this. I don't know if y'all remember Britney Spears and Kevin Federline. He received
He
spousal
did.
support
Yeah.
and he received full custody of his
Right.
kids.
Mhm.
That's different
And child
than
support.
what this
Right.
situation is. Now, I support that because Kevin Federline, Britney Spears, like that's like a grave disparity. But and then he was awarded literally full
Mm-hmm.
custody of the kids. To me, that's what spousal support is meant
Mm-hmm.
for. Not when you have 30 freaking $1 million, you can buy anything you want. And just because she has 80, I don't see the disparity. I don't see it. I just don't see it. When you have that much money.
No, I agree.
I
I
agree.
agree, 100%.
I
Like,
absolutely agree.
there's no argument for me. You're 100% right.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. All right, I just want to tell you the disparity of the difference between states. So,
Georgia's not a common community property state,
yeah.
so
So,
that's where they at then.
what I was going to talk about with it is bringing up the child support between two states. And I know we're not talking about Georgia. We're talking about California here.
Cali's different.
California and Texas.
Different.
California is way different than
Oh yeah.
Texas, and so Texas actually has a cap on, excuse me, child support.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where California does not. But I would say for the average dad in Texas,
I'll
sorry,
bring you some water.
I'm okay. For the average dad in Texas, um, you actually pay more than you would in California. Texas is weighed heavily to the rich. And when I break it down to you, you'll understand why. So there's actually a cap in Texas that if you make over $9,600 a year, that's where you stop at. So I'm gonna say this. Fun fact: Chris Brown fought in court and won to keep his daughter in Texas because her mother wanted to move to California. And he was actually capped in Texas, whereas in California there is no cap. So just some of the tables just to think about. 50,000 in Texas, you're going to pay, and it does not take the mother's ability to earn money or money that she's making into account in Texas. Here in Texas, in California, it doesn't really either as well. So here in Texas, you would pay 800, if you make 50,000 a year, you pay $833 a month. Just in That's 20% of your
For the
income.
first
That's
child.
standard. That's for one child. I'm only going to go with one because it gets more because it's up to 40 after three in Texas. In California, for that same one child is 500 to 750. And that's based off of 84% custody and a 16% visitation. So if you do a normal visitation schedule, it's 500 to 750 for 50,000. Making 100,000, you pay 1,667 in Texas, and Texas doesn't care how much you get the kid. You get the kid half the time. You get the kid more than the time. If the parent that's asking for child support has physical custody, she or he is going to get $1,667. Whereas in California, obviously, still depends on the custody, but it can be anywhere from $950 to $1,250. Now we're talking Texas, and the cap at 200,000. The cap is actually less than 200,000, but I just went at 200,000. In Texas, you're capped at $3,000 a month for that one child. So let me say this again. Chris Brown pays $3,000 a month in child support for his child.
Damn.
Because he was able to fight and keep her in Texas. In California, that would be for just $200,000. There's no cap. It would be $2,000 to $3,000 a month or more, depending on how much you share the custody. At $1 million, this is more Chris Brown. You will pay that same $3,000 because you already hit the cap. You hit the cap at 200. So somebody that makes 200 pays the same amount as somebody at 100, $3,000. But in California, it will be anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 a month, and that varies from state to state. I just wanted to talk about that because I think that's a travesty in and of itself. I think I do believe that, like paying $15,000 a month. Now, if you can show like Cardi B saying, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for that, I'm paying, and I got receipts to show that I'm utilizing that money, or this is what I'm spending each month, but this other money goes into this bank account and or goes into these mutual funds, or goes into these investments that's in my, in our child's name, that's a trust and yada, yada, yada. I have nothing to say. But I think there comes a point where you don't need that money anymore because it's not for you. It's not for him or them. It's for you. And I'm gonna give it up to Candace. Now, what do you got to say? Because you got to. How do you feel about that?
I feel like sometimes when you have celebrity and you have celebrity children, I feel like sometimes that money is warranted, especially when you have these celebrity children who need to be in secure schools. Because now you're paying for like schools, you paying to be in, like if I didn't have this celebrity kid, I wouldn't have to live in maybe this gated community to protect this kid. I wouldn't have to put the kid in this special private school so it can have extra security. So I'm going to say there are times where I feel like that kind of money is warranted to be able to safely care for that child.
I agree, Candace, and I feel that if it's your child, you should want that child to still live in the manner in which they become accustomed to it. If you got a swimming pool in the backyard and private schools and nannies and whatever, and then you get a divorce and you expect them to go, on a McDonald's diet, what kind of parent is that? If you can afford it, support your children. And if that means, you have half custody and you're paying for their private school and you're paying for their insurance, and, that's part of support too. But, don't expect the mother to do without helping the kids because you don't want to do it anymore. Oh, and by the way, Offset has 6 kids total.
Yeah.
I was looking that up.
That he don't take care
right.
of.
That was my whole point about the whole thing. He has a track
by
record
4 different women.
Yeah, you got to put that little bleep in there for me, Ryan.
Yeah.
Shitty motherfucking dad.
You're a little late on that.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to curse. I wanted to curse, but
you're fine.
You know what I mean?
You're fine.
We all know that. I mean, if you got, but what I think about is she obviously knew that.
Yeah.
Why would you? 3 times,
what a deadbeat he was.
Like the first time, what he say? The first time is on me. Second time, like, you know what I'm saying? The third time,
yeah.
Like, come on now. Like, you can't blame anybody but yourself for this, right? So you're in a position where this is something that you have to deal with, right? Is it something that you should have in the public? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? As much as she tried to keep quiet, and I'm sure everybody gets to a point where they have a breaking point. It's like, you know what? This is enough. And that's where that's what she is. She's an upset mom. That's probably the worst person on the planet to get somebody to get upset as an upset mom. You don't want to piss off a mama. You in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's gonna lead to. Hopefully they can get back to what they should be doing, is actually focusing on their children and not publicly putting their things out there, because it's gonna affect their children down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Even though those kids are
going to go using the daughter either.
Correct.
On social media. That's shitty.
No, you don't even put them in the mix of that.
Yeah,
parents,
and he did that.
I grew up.
He did that.
Parents' business is parents' business. You couldn't even be in a room when parents talk. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even. You don't even put them in the. They ain't even in the planet, right?
Grown folks'
When you
business.
when you dealing with these type of things. So hopefully they'll get more mature enough to say, hey, you know what? We need to sit down, and they need to have people around them to say, hey, let's get out of this freaking public opinion type stuff. Don't even have to listen. We gonna do whatever we need to do behind these closed doors. It don't matter. None of this noise that we hearing out in the world. Apologize and focus on what you need to be doing to build for your children. Right? That's what should be the focus, and not having this kind of thing banter around to where now people are starting to take sides of, because ultimately it's going to damage both of their careers, which ultimately damages their 3 children or the 5 children, or how many damn children it is. And hopefully that's what they can get back to, and be cordial adults, right? And run from that point.
And time will do that. Time will do that. I just want to say, the fact that he used one of his kids on social media to disparage his mother shows everything you need to know that he's a bitch ass.
Yeah.
He's a bitch ass. Where's the horn at? There it is. Anyway, he's a bitch ass nigga, because that's point blank plain, and that was, that was before he asked for spousal support. I've dealt with that personally. Somebody I considered a friend, that may have started with a Q, that was in the Navy, that I can't deal with at all, and would probably punch him in his mouth. Anyway, because he's a bitch ass dude, and I considered him my friend at the time, and everybody else around me said, he's a bitch ass dude. I'm like, no, I got him. Don't worry about it. I got him. Because I thought we had the relationship where I should be able to say, if we cool and you my boy, Ron, you my boy, I should be able to call you and say, yo, using the kids to do this, that, and the other against your ex? Nah, bro, that's not what we do.
Yeah, that's not cool.
And it's not cool, and we're not going to do it. And as my brother, as my friend, you should take that and check yourself.
Yeah, we're 100% brothers, 100%.
And if me and you need to talk about it more,
that's
we talk about it.
100%.
But that's what it is. That's what I see as a friend, somebody that care about you and care about your kids.
Correct.
And if we can't have that conversation, and then you go back and start talking shit about people in my family, we got problems.
100%.
We got problems.
100%.
So anyway,
I'm with you 100% on that, bro. You already know. You already know how we go. We ain't friends, bro. We've been bros forever, like real bro. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Don't ever get that twisted. But you're right, 100%. But you gotta have like even with the administration that's out here right now, you gotta have them people that say you doing some dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be open to that and listen to those type of people. And I think you know what I think? I think they do have those type of people, but they are people that don't listen to them. Like a narcissist ain't gonna hear you about, I don't care what you say. Okay, great, thanks. I'm still gonna do my stupid stuff, which you see at that level, right? But these kids, like these, because Cardi and Offset are kids to me. You know what I'm saying? They young, right? So a lot of times they don't even know how to deal with these type of things. Because if you look at their backgrounds, they probably, I don't know what their whole background, but they probably didn't have the right teachers and the right people in their paths as they're growing up to know how to deal with these type of situations, because they just, you know what I mean, want to be out here like wilding. Does that make sense? You don't want to do that kind of stuff, man. It ain't even worth that. Money, like she said, money, I don't care about the money, because money don't mean nothing, but your peace is so much more expensive and more valuable than any piece of paper. So I understand. I felt that when she said that. She said, if you hear her voice, she means every freaking syllable that she's talking about. I don't care what I give you. I want my peace. That is a strong statement, bro.
And I'm willing to pay for peace. All right, before we go to cleaning our palate, Candace, you have anything else before we go to cleaning our palate? Because like I said, I want to get everybody to the final so they can enjoy it.
No.
Eva, do you have anything?
We are all done with graduations. My granddaughter graduated from high school. What's today? Yesterday. My grandson graduated from high school Saturday, and my little baby, Danny, graduated from kindergarten last Wednesday. So we are all done with graduations this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Ronnie,
yeah.
about to clean our
Yes,
palate. You
sir.
got anything
Just for
before we
me,
go?
real quick, just to be on the graduation
Mm-hmm.
deal. So my twin, my daughter, she just went to her prime. Oh my gosh, she was gorgeous. You understand? Gorgeous. I wanted to go be like that dad in the corner, like, you can't talk to her. You can't talk to her
Mm-hmm.
ever. But I had to. You gotta let your babies grow up. And she's a Gemini. Her birthday's the 15th coming up, and she's a Father's Day baby.
Okay.
Right.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Well, congratulations.
thank you. And you know what she told me? She said, you
Congrats.
know what, Dad? I know I'm turning 18, but it's Father's Day. We're gonna have a twins' birthday. It's gonna be
Oh wow.
yeah. I'm like, what? Listen.
Them girls, man, they get you. They get their claws in you and they never leave. I'm telling
Get
you.
the strings.
And she know it. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
to me, that's like for me just to watch how they matriculate from being that young to getting a straight A student, already accepted into
Awesome.
college. They're already going to a HBCU, knows what she wants to do
Wow.
in life, and I'm like, oh,
Congratulations.
like like from a
Congrats.
kid that come from my background and to watch my children just matriculate into life and be responsible young adults. Man, that's a big thing. So
It is.
that's
It's
my
huge.
cleaning the palette right now.
All right. Thank everybody for watching. We got one more thing for Clean Our Palette. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching on Facebook, please go to the YouTube. That's all I ask, and then like and subscribe. But we have a shipmate of ours, James Sandifer, very good shipmate of ours that just was elected mayor.
Oh.
He retired after 30 years in the Navy. And now he was just elected mayor this past Tuesday in Lumberton, Mississippi.
Wow.
And we're gonna play the news release that our brother got elected.
Hey, big up that.
I'm sorry. You're
Big
right.
up
You're
there,
absolutely right.
Mayor-elect Sandifer.
You're absolutely right. Mayor-elect
Mississippi.
Mayor-elect Sandifer.
Congratulations.
Thank you, my brother. And congratulations, and we look forward to the big things that you're about to do for Lumberton and hopefully for the state of Mississippi and hopefully for our country as a whole.
Incumbent Quincy Rogers by more than 300 votes. 12 News' Brandon Rains spoke with the mayor-elect, who says he's focusing on positive change for the city.
James Sandifer Jr. will serve as Lumberton's next mayor after winning Tuesday's election. The U.S. Navy veteran says he's ready to roll up his sleeves and move the city forward.
I went around personally and visited every resident in this city. And just to hear the complaints of a lot of people that lost hope. So it's my goal to give them hope. And I know I can with my style of leadership.
Sandifer's first priority is conducting a full audit to assess the city's finances, followed by unifying city leadership and building consensus.
As a community, we can accomplish everything. But we just have to believe that as a city, and that is my job as mayor, and to get the council and get the city to buy into the vision that we have for this town.
That vision includes working with Lumberton schools and the district to improve Lumberton's C rating, efforts he believes will encourage more families to settle in the area.
People still stay away and didn't trust our community, didn't trust our school system enough with their kids, that we're going to make them better. Look at Petal. Look at Purvis, look at Poplarville. The school district gets better. So it's my goal is to work with the administration. How can the city help the school?
The mayor-elect is also focused on addressing the root causes of the city's long-standing water and sewer issues.
We got to hire the contractors and do the deep dive. We got problems, but what is the root of the cause? And stop patching it. We got to fix it.
Sanderson supporters says his leadership, military experience, and vision makes him the right choice to help improve the city of Lumberton.
He always asks people that left here, y'all complain about things in Lumberton, but what are you doing to help the city of Lumberton? And I think his love for the citizens of Lumberton is what inspired him to do what he's doing.
Sandifer is set to be sworn into office on June 18th. In Lumberton, Brandon Rains, 12 News.
Jackson's
Our
mayor.
brother,
Alliance Hyundai welcomes you to our
Nice.
brand new state-of-the-art.
yeah. So our brother is elected now, and
Okay.
it's a congratulations. It's congratulations, and
Congratulations.
that is it. That's all we got. I know. It's outstanding, and he's a member of the community. He's a member of the pod, and we love that he's doing big things in his hometown,
Cool.
and it's outstanding. It's outstanding. That's what we're here for. We are good people trying to do good things, and I appreciate each and everybody that's watching, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy the finals.
Thank you.
We'll see
Thank
you
you.
guys. We'll see you guys next Thursday.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you
Tommy.
guys. Great
All right.
show.